of the oldest, if not the oldest, work that exists in humanity. As a farmer, I'm here to share with you guys the tips that you can apply in order to get finance in the local context of Cameroon. But before we can dive in, I would like you to look at this picture behind me. Her name is Wulsida Martin. Wulsida is 37 years, and she's mother of 6 children, beautiful children. And her daily life goes like getting up at 5 a.m., go 5 kilometers away to fetch water, come back home, prepare a meal for the children, and make sure they are prepared to go to school. Around 7, usually, she finds herself doing what you can see in the picture, farming, all day long. Thanks to her hard work and many others, you and I today can go to market and find any food staple we want. But there is a sad reality. The reality is Wulsida and the 60% of the Cameroonian workforce, which are considered to be farmers like her, according to the National Statistics Institute of Cameroon, are principally the portion of the population that is targeted to be the poor. What's going on? People who feed you and I are those who live in extreme poverty. People who feed the nation, who feed the world, are those living in terrible living standards. Something is wrong. Although today we have the knowledge, for instance, let me cite the study from the International Fund for Agriculture and Development, saying that for a double of increase of yield per hectare in Africa, we can reduce the poverty gap by 10%. Think about it, 10%, simply by increasing the production yield. It could be an objective of a country like Cameroon to just push farmers to increase their production yield. By so doing, we will be decreasing the poverty gap. So if we know it, why don't we do it? Farmers like Wulsida face terrible and tremendous challenges, among which there are 3. The first one, outdated practices. She doesn't have knowledge. See the way she's farming. It's not the same way a farmer of Colorado or Texas or Europe is farming. She's transplanting her crop with her hand. She doesn't have the means to make an innovative agriculture. The second challenge is we don't have an industry that can lift those farmers. You know, an industry who can ask for their products and then help them, support them. We call that industry inefficiency. Third, most important, which is always constant in all African countries, is access to finance. It's almost impossible for an agricultural farmer or somewhere in a village to go to the bank and have funding to. It's almost impossible. So how is it possible for people like me who decided to be farmers to get funding for our agricultural project? Here are a few tips. The first is what we call organic financing, Organic financing is about reinvesting the proceeds you've gained from an existing project to increase a little bit. For instance, I'm pretty sure you guys here can have the means to make an hectare of whatever product you have. But usually what happens is that when you do 1 hectare of your product this year, next year, it comes out that you still do 1 hectare, the third year you still do 1 hectare. That's not the way to go. The way to go is, if this year you make 1 hectare, next year, just reinvest the proceeds of that 1 hectare and try to do 1.1, 1.2, 1.5, or 2 hectares each year. Organic financing relies on what we call compounding effect. The compounding effect is simple. It's the earlier you start something, time, only time will make you have the best of it. Today, if you start 1 hectare, tomorrow you're 2 hectares, the next day you have 5 hectares. My friend, you're better off for somebody who will have cash and bring to start 5 hectares that same year. Why? You got the experience, you got the know-how, you got everything, you know about it. And it will be easy for you to convince people to invest in your project. I did it. I started with 1 hectare of rice. When I came back and left everything, and wanted to try to do what I'm doing, actually. I started with 1 hectare of rice a couple of years ago, 5 to 6 years ago. But let me tell you, only by compounding, I'm not talking about the others way of financing, by compounding, last year, I was able to do 100 hectares of rice. It works, organic, but you need to be disciplined, patient, resilient. The second one is value chain financing. I will share with you. Value chain financing is simple, meeting the people you are working with, either customers or suppliers. If you're producing something and you know that there are customers out there who need that product, and you are somebody who is honest, there's something you would like to work on, a customer can pre-finance the product if you tell him that he's gonna get the product with a discount, for instance. If the bag of nuts is usually sold at 10,000, tell him, hey guy, I can produce it for you. You can have it at 7,000, for instance, after this, making all your mathematics about cost. This will bring his interest, and he'll be able to bring you the cash upfront. The 2 ways is possible. The customer or the supplier. The same thing with the supplier. Hey guy, I have a project and I need XYZ products. It could be fertilizers, it could be anything. Then they can finance. It's working. With my company, we are doing it. And several companies are doing it also. If you go to the village, I'm pretty sure you will see about what you call agro dealers who are able to fund people with fertilizers and stuff like that. So this is something you need to take serious and try it out. It's a way for you to get what you need, because it's not about cash, it's all about financing your project and make it work. Value chain financing. The third one, equity financing. This is something a little bit more sophisticated, but it exists in Cameroon. And you can try equity financing within the people surrounding you. It could be friends, it could be aunties, it could be boss, it could be somebody you've met. Equity financing simply means giving some shares of your company to people who can give you the money for you to develop your project. Of course, you need to convince that the project is viable. You need to convince that the project is profitable, because all what they're doing is putting money in order for you to make profit out of it. Think about it. Everybody out there, even you, waking up day in, day out, what are you doing? Searching for money. So people are just searching money every day. So if you can come and tell them, guy, this is serious. If you have 100,000, I'm just saying, and you put it into my project, within 6 months, you're gonna have 300,000. He will do it. And if you can show him that you are doing it. Why? Because that's what he's doing every day. Day in, day out, going out to search for money. And if you can tell me just put in what I'm trying to do, and get what you need, they are ready to do it. So convince them, your relatives. The other way or avenue you can get is what we call crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is a new way, a new tool people are using to get funding from, internet. People are using internet for different purposes. Some are posting their videos, others their photos, others commenting day out, every day. But make internet get you what you need. If you need funding, internet can help you get the funding you need. There are crowdfunding platforms, hassle-free. No need collateral, no need long of documentation. All you need is a good project. I can name some of them for you guys so you can use it. Kiva.org, for instance. Kiva, like Kiva.org. O-R-G. I can talk about Fiatop, which is also French. Fiatop, as you hear. Fiatop, F-I-A-T-T-O-P-E. And there is a new Cameroonian crowdfunding platform, very interesting. It's called Guanxi. Guanxi is written J-U-A-N-X-I. These are some platforms on which you can post your project and people will give you the money you need for your project. It works. We did it. Last year, we raised on crowdfunding platform around 50 million for a project. From people I don't know. That's an example. It works. The last, but not the least, is diaspora. My friend, diaspora. They have money. They are willing to invest in Africa. They love Africa, Reach out to them. Explain your project to them. I'm pretty sure you will find them ready to invest in what you're doing. Because any diasporan guy out there is thinking, what can I do to my dear Africa? What can I do to my dear Cameroon? They are willing. But you need to be honest, true. Because unfortunately, the problem with the diaspora is they have sent a lot of money in here. And people went out doing other things with it. And that's it. But if you're honest, true, and you can show to them that you are doing a serious project and you have the expertise for that, this is unlimited funding source for your project. We launched this year a fund with diaspora. I'm giving you tips that I've done in my own experience. And we are launching this year, by the end of the year, the Agricultural Partnership Fund, with the aim of financing farmers in the next 5 years with an amount nearly 10 billion from CFA. It's not an institution, it's not a bank, it's diaspora. Think about it. It is possible. It worked for me. I have no name, but it worked for me. It can work for you. I'm not saying that all of these were easy, it's just flowing. No, it's tough. But we need agriculture because think about any city. We can be as developed as we can, with skyscrapers, with even flying taxis, whatever world we're in, people will still need to eat. So it's constant. Feeding is constant. Sure, guaranteed market. So my friend, don't hesitate. Start. Apply one of those tips that I just shared, and I'm pretty sure you will raise what you need, or at least you will get the train starting. There is a demand for products, and the COVID crisis, plus the Ukrainian actual crisis, it shows any economy needs to be self-sufficient in a way. So it's time now for you to start investing in agriculture, your time, and reach out with all the tips that I have given to you. Thank you so much.